Hello and welcome to Electrical 401. My name is Scott Letwin. I will be your instructor for this online course, and I look forward to meeting you personally when we do some of our labs together. So the purpose of this video is just to go through some course navigation in case you haven't used Blackboard before, or if you have used Blackboard before. It's a little bit different because of, again, this is more of an online course than an offline course. And typically, if you were here at Red Deer College before and used Blackboard, all you were doing was using it just as a test bank. We're going to be using it for a little bit more than that now. Okay, so let's go through the navigation here and just see what we have. On the left-hand side, you'll see that we've got a few menu items here. Start here is where you're going to land for the first week or so. And then I'll keep changing that for the week that we're in. So once we get familiar with this, I will start moving the start page to the week that we're actually in, and then that will help you keep track of where you are in the course. Okay, and you don't have to keep seeing my ugly face every day. All right, so that's where the start here is really important because there's a lot of extra information on here. Just tells you a little bit about me. There's going to be the video that we're doing right now is going to pop in here. And then the next thing I need you to do after you watch this video is to sign up for an app called Remind. And the instructions are right here. It's just a great way for us to keep in touch with each other without having to, I don't need your cell phone number, and you don't need mine necessarily. I can give it to you if you need it. Or you can contact me at my office office phone number because it rings through to my computer. But either way. So I've got some of those other things that you need as far as contacting me, I think here, for student and instructor roles and stuff like that. So just read through this. This is just some of the icons that we use for the course. But again, a lot of this information on here, other than that Remind one and the course navigation video, are all fairly general to all online courses that Red Deer College offers. So there's not a lot of, stuff that is very unique to this course as well. There are some other things that we'll go through that are unique, but just read through it. It doesn't take very long to go through it. Okay, the next portion or next item on the menu is orientation, and there are some videos on here. This first one is from our Dean of the School of Trades and Technologies, and then there are some things about the cancellation policy and stuff like that you should be aware of in case you have to. I hope you don't. Then there is the apprenticeship campus entry, and so there's this mandatory video that you have to watch, and then it takes you to a mandatory campus entry quiz. So this is all related to COVID-19 restrictions and things like that you need to be aware of. Okay. The next video is Ait Orientation, so there's some really good information on there for you. And I think maybe Service Canada actually, maybe not. I'm not sure what, they changed the video since last time. But there's information about your employment insurance, apprenticeship grants, and things like that you want to be aware of because you're finishing up fourth year. Because this is a Red Seal trade, you should be eligible for that $2,000 as a completion grant. Okay. All right. And then there's just some other stuff that Red Deer College offers, the library, disability services, things that you can make sure to take advantage of as well. Okay. Let's go back to our menu again. Next thing here is, again, this is unique to this course, Electrical 401E, schedules and grading. So we've got the fourth period timetable, and it's sort of laid out here anyway. We know that it's a 16-week course. You can complete it sooner. The last labs that you need to complete are in week 11, so that kind of makes sense with the original 12 weeks that a fourth year class was. So you can get done in the 12 weeks if you want. You can even get done in 11 weeks if need be. And if you could get done even sooner, there is some flexibility as far as lab times go. I can try to work with you and get some of that done sooner if you need to. Okay. The next thing is the grading breakdown, just to let you know what test counts for what your labs count for and all that kind of stuff. And then we have our lab schedule. Okay, so that's all in there. They all open up as a new page, and then you can take a look at it. You can print it. They are PDFs. Okay. All right, the next thing is the lockdown browser. And this is a little bit different. So even if you have come to Red Deer College before and used Blackboard, this is going to be a new experience for you, because now instead of using the test center to go and write your exams, and we refer to them as supervised exams, well, now we don't have that option. So we're using your own PC or MacBook as a supervisor. So you need a webcam and a microphone on your computer, and you have to install something called a lockdown browser. It's just a browser, very, very small, but what it does do is keeps you on that test that you've opened up, and that's the only place you can go. There's no way that you can go around, searching Google for an answer on anything. The webcam is used just to make sure that the right person is writing the test and making sure that you're staying in the room, not going anywhere. And then the microphone is just to see if you're having a conversation with somebody else that's in the room. So it's just a way of supervising the exam to make sure that there's some integrity to them. All right. The next thing is the Collaborate Ultra. And I'll just open that up. This is an area where we can meet as a class or as instructor and student individually. And it just allows us to kind of either, talk. If you don't want to have your camera on, you can do it that way, and you can just listen in. But I'll be using this as a kind of a classroom, and so I can share a virtual whiteboard. I can share slides. We can go through PowerPoints, things like that, and it's open it up to questions. Go through any questions you might have. So sometimes on the Remind app, you may say, "Hey Scott, can you meet me in the course room?" And I'll say sure, and we can go over maybe some code questions or something that you have. So this is just a way of doing that. And so what you do is just click on that, and then you just join course room. Okay, it's just that easy. So this will always be open and ready to go. You could even meet with a student yourself, like with a fellow student if you wanted to in that course room. You don't even need me to open that room up for you. Okay. All right, and then My Grades is just a way of taking a look at what you've completed and what's left outstanding. It'll give you a weighted total of your grade. Won't include any of the zeros, so if you haven't written anything, if there's stuff that's still outstanding that you haven't written, it doesn't really put a zero in there, so it's not completely accurate. So you do have to complete everything, all of the required exams in the course in order to complete and do all the labs. That's AIT's requirement for this. Okay, so let's quickly go through and just take a look at what a week one would look like. Again, you'll see the schedule in the schedules and grading here, but week one starts off with a little preview of what you're going to do. I am going to try to get a video through every Sunday night and get it on there, a really short one, just kind of giving you a quick synopsis of what we're going to be covering that week. So the first thing we do is like fourth period math applications. Tells you what the topic is, kind of gives you kind of bullet points or just little things that we're going to be covering. Gives you a time commitment of how many hours should be spent on this. In this case, it's 14 hours here. And then it'll tell you which module that you need to be reading. So it'll give you the module number and then the module name. Okay. Next thing we have is additional resources. So take advantage of these. They're just little, usually it's videos, can be web pages, could be worksheets and things like that that we think you might find useful. And so if you just click on the link there, it'll take you to them, and then they're just short videos that you can watch over and over again. Stop and pause them and rewind and stuff like that, so to help you with the course content. or the module to go get through that. After you're comfortable with that, then go and hit the math applications test. And this is an open book. It doesn't count for marks. It's just helps you see where you are. So again, I always tell my students, try and do as much as you can without consulting your module. But if you need your module to answer a question, go for it. These typically we've made these shorter than previous years because again, we want you to try to get through them maybe a little bit quicker and not be bogged down and get almost feedback a little bit sooner. That way you can go and try another one if you didn't quite make it, or if you weren't satisfied that you felt comfortable with the material, you can pull off another one. And we've made it so that there's unlimited attempts on these. Previously we always just capped it at 3, but now we just made them unlimited. Try it as many times as you want until you feel completely comfortable with the information, and then move on. So then you'd go to the next topic after you're done that, and you'll notice here it says you need 80% or higher to release the next module test in this subject area. So we go to Alternators and Generators. We do that, and we read that, go through our additional resources, but you'll notice it doesn't scroll down. If you'd completed this test here, then all of a sudden you would see another module test down below here, but it won't release until you complete that. It's just sort of forcing you through the course to make sure that you go from module to module and complete everything that you need to complete to get that done. So that's how we've laid out the course. I'll just go through here on the side menu here. Week 1 through 3 is machines, so that includes DC machines and AC machines. Week 4 covers what we refer to as common courses, but they actually lie within the fire alarm topic. They don't have anything to do with fire alarms, but I think AIT didn't know where to stick them, so they put them in there. So they fall in that subject area. But we've just kind of independently put them there. It's things like, arc flash and electrical safety, red seal, interprovincial, stuff like that, apprenticeship, networking, workplace coaching, things like that. So things that the AIT felt all final period apprentices needed to know. And at the end of that week, we actually start into our PLC subject, and then week 5 we continue that on, and you'll be making PLC programs and finishing up the PLCs. Week 6 and 7 is motor controls. You have labs those 2 weeks. You have labs in weeks 2 and 3. You don't have any labs in weeks 4 and 5. And then, so that's motor controls. Week 8 through 10 is electronics. Again, there'll be labs in there. Week 11 is fire alarms, and that's the final set of labs that we have for the course. Weeks 12 through 16, these 5 weeks here are all code. It may seem a bit of a slog, and it is, I'm not going to lie, but the nice thing about doing code at the end is that you are prepped for your IP, which in my last class they scheduled for the last day of week 16. Okay, so that's how that is laid out. So once you're done with machines and you've written all your machines exams, which there's only 2 of them, a DC one and an AC one, you're done machines. You never have to think about them again. Same thing with PLCs. Once you're done that, you don't have any more quizzes or tests on them. Motor controls, same thing. You complete your motor controls exam and do your drawings, you're done. You don't have to come back to that ever again. Electronics, 2 exams, that's it, you're done. And that's why I've broken it out so it's all in blocks, and once you're done that block, you don't have to go back and review any of that stuff, because again, we as far as I know at this time, we do not have a provincial exam, or a TQ, as some have called it. We do not have that. There will likely be an IP, but a TQ at this moment doesn't look likely. If anything changes, I will be the first to let you know. Okay, so that's how this is laid out. So I hope that helps you to go through that. Remember to sign up for Remind, and we'll see you in the next video.